It's in a span of like less than a month. Less than a month. And then this one just came out 4 days ago, 5 days ago. NPM package uses prompt injection and token plugin to disrupt AI malware scanners. This one's, 140 NPM packages. WebAssembly malware, Trojanized on OpenVSX extensions. This is VS Code extensions. Right. Miasma and Hades worm targets. PyPy packages. Yeah, it targeted PyPy packages, so Python. Targeted Python. They're targeting everything, guys. It hasn't been a full month yet. Or has it? We're still in June. We're still in June and there are already five worms. The NuGet packages. PHP pages. Which is like WordPress pretty much. So the only thing that'll save you is PNPM. So if I were you, I would tell Codex to switch using packages from NPM to PNPM. And the reason why you do that is PNPM will only trust the package, like only like not the latest one, but like the third latest one instead of like the latest one. So when it does get compromised, you're actually always installing an older version that isn't compromised. So PNPM instead of NPM would be a tip for you. Ido. Same thing for anybody else that uses NPM. Use PNPM instead. Yeah. More mini Shai Haluds. It's a funny name, Shai Halud. Shai Halud again. That's how I do my iOS updates. That's good, that's good. Here's Stone Sequoia. Got it. Supply chain is doing their magic, guys. Doing their magic. Alright. How do I fill out the form, guys? How do I fill out the form? Crisis helpline support in Claude. API safeguard tools. Warnings and appears. Real-time cyber safeguards. Claude, okay. API safeguards. What's this? What? I don't see any solution here, guys. Real-time cyber safeguards. Cyber verification program. We're in it, guys. We're in it to win it. I have a Mac, but I don't use it. But I'd rather smoke crack than use my Mac. That's hilarious. I didn't apply to both of my accounts. I probably should have. Oof. Smoke crack. Right, which one did I say it was? Was it this one? It was this one. I work on a creative space, so Macs are kind of the default. Yep. I work in the creative space too, guys, but I use a Linux machine instead. I'm literally creating right now, guys. I'm creating right now. I'm literally creating right now. All right. What are we up to now? Man, I'm getting prompted a lot. It's trying to ask to go to extended curl. So I should add this as a domain, a wild domain, so it doesn't ask me anymore. Let's do that. Network. Should I do all.sigmashake.com? All right. So it shouldn't add, so it shouldn't, what do you call it? Keep asking me anymore. Guys, I add a way to manage your domains whitelisting. When you make, every time it makes a web request, I have a detection or a rule that will keep asking you before visiting a domain. And then you could, configure it to whitelist it here per domain or add a wildcard. And then it'll create a configuration for you, which you could hand over to your team as well, whoever is working in the same code base as you. And it also works for IP addresses and IPv6. And then you could ask before reaching out to unlisted domains. I have it. It still asks anyway because it's a detection rule. We'll see. That reminds me, I have to update the local version of this one. And I gotta keep working on my plugin. To replace my workflow. Because, guys, my plan is to, alright, you can't really see a lot of stuff on this. My plan is to switch from working on my terminal to this. With you guys for email, I use I use this service called, I forgot what it's called. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm bad. Dang it. What's it called? Resend. Resend? Resend. I don't sign up. It works with Cloudflare. And then I combine it with a duck email. But here we go. Oops. Well, hopefully that helps. But it works with Cloudflare. Oh wait. Is it already configured? Uh-oh. I signed up with a different account. I don't remember which account. I think I signed in with email. All right, yeah. So was about something that's client facing, yeah. So I have a support, but honestly, all you really need, I use resend to email to them to send the reply back. What about something that's client facing? So when you have Cloudflare, you could set up tons of domains as a public facing email address that could send to any email address. And what you should do is set it up with what do you call it? A duck domain. So you set up a duck email address. So I have like a bunch of Reddit tests here to test Reddit when I'm ready. But you could have like as many email addresses as you want. You could have as many email addresses as you want. You email it to a duck.com address. And then what you could do is when you get an email, you can reply to the emails from any address, and it'll reply back with it'll reply back. Let's see. Let's see support. Oh, that's not a good example. Let me see. Right. So it says admin at sigmashake.com underscore sigmashake at duck.com. And so if I were to reply to this email, it'll be showing as if it was from sigmashake at duck.com. Wait, you could follow HMC Architects. What's that? Hold My Cosmo Architects? Hold My Cosmo Architects? No, I have not. So it's like a really cool hack. So you could just, you know, and you can create an email service to email back to them, which is, I think, is pretty cool. So you don't really have to pay for any email service. All you need is something to forward. That's the bootstrap way. It's a little complicated, but AI will figure it out. AI will figure it out, guys. But you need to combine it with duck.com plus Cloudflare, and then like a Cloudflare worker that does the emailing and stuff. AI will figure it out. AI will figure it out. Because here's an example. Oh, that's not a good example. Let me try to find a support ticket. Let me see here. All right. So I got an inbox of email addresses. This is my email service. And let's see here. All right. Let's try this. All right. Give me a second, guys. Just want to show you. So let's say there's an issue. There's an issue. I'm on my, so within SigmaShake, you could report issues. And then I could say there's an issue with my product, with something in SigmaShake. And then they type in something, blah, something broke, please fix. All right. And your contact email, I'll just make it, so this email doesn't matter, but this will be the email that I should be replying to, right? So for now, let's just call it, we'll call it SigmaShake Inc. Right. All right. And then, submit feedback. Bam. All right. I just got a notification. I got a notification that just happened, right? I got a notification on my Discord that ticket was created. There's an issue with something at SigmaShake. So I click it, right? And then so I go to that, sign with my GitHub. And then now I see this ticket, right? Now I need to reply to them, right? I need to reply to that email address, this, right? I need to reply to it. Okay, well, get on to fixing it now. All right. Send a reply. Then I go to the email. I go to the email. There. There's an issue with something in Sigma Shake. Okay, I'll get on it now. Right. And then I think, at least it's something. I'll respond to them. But the only way they'll be able to see their account or responses is within their account. So within sigmashake.com, have to log out, dashboard, log in with GitHub, I guess. Log in with Sigma Shake. I wonder if this is gonna work. Let's see. Oh, it's not gonna work because I'm not a customer. I'm not a customer. But either way, it would just maybe I should have it mapped to the email of their account. That's a bug. That's something I should probably bake in there for the ownership of the email so they don't have to type it in. But that's just an example. Hopefully that helps. Otherwise, you could probably just pay for resend to send and manage emails, I guess. Possibly. But there's ways to get around it. All right, let me add that as a feature now. Yeah, no problem. All right, let me see here. Coordination for mesh. Ooh. I want email notifications for your app. Yeah, that's possible. That's definitely easy to do. All right, shift to seeing what I can do next. They will not see the duck. They will not see the duck email. Because when you reply as a duck email address, this is what they see. This is what the customer sees. See? That's what they see. And then they could reply to this, I think. Yeah, they could just reply. Okay, I think. Let's see here. Reply. And then let's go to the ticket again. Yeah, seems legit. It's a little hacky, but at least it's something, Oh, well, I don't see their thing to reply back, but there has to be a way. There has to be a way. I think I had it somewhere. And I could close this. Result. I forgot what I did to get it to reply. There was like a button to reply, but I have to add that as a support ticket. Let's see here. I'll add that here as well. Do not reply. Yeah, added do not reply. I don't know. Fix distribution for the CLI. Also, one more feature we need to fix is the support portal page within SigmaShake UI. The email needs to be pre-filled based on the email address tied to the user identity. Also, when the user gets an email, a reply back in support.sigmashake.com, it doesn't contain the button on how to reply to the support ticket. But I know it's within the accounts.sigmashake.com. All right. I just have to use one session at a time and don't go crazy with 10 sessions at a time. Right, run endpoint name, goal, fix the broken, install, deploys block with no available token to deploy workers. Yes, there is a token to deploy workers. You just get the value. You need to bake this into a file on how to fetch it somewhere, because that's the value. Oh my god, AI is not smart yet, guys. It's not smart yet. You gotta cater it. You gotta cater it. Let's see here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whew. Let's see here, guys. What's this? Asianometry. Centered on Asia. The next generation. Embedded memories. Let's chill on here. We chill. Oh. What's this one about? Alright, let's see what's going on in the States, guys.
Is the strait open now? No, the strait is closed again. 15 ships got...
Wait, the strait's closed again? What?
Got through and the strait got closed again.
That's the channel I recommended. Which one? Where? Which channel? What channel? I don't see a channel. Hmm. Asian operator. Oh yeah. We'll look at that. We'll look at that. We're subscribed, so we see his videos.
How they said no more closing the toll. Who could have stopped that?
Oh, the other day.
It is crazy that on this broadcast, also on Lemonade Stand, also everybody in the world is basically saying,
I'm
hey,
gonna check on the people really quick, make sure everything's okay, and then yeah, I'll go check back.
Israel is going to bomb Lebanon to stop this peace deal from happening. And everyone's like, yeah, they're going to do that. And then they did that. And then the peace deal got stopped. It's like, okay, what the fuck can anyone do at this point? It's crazy. You literally have JD Vance and Donald Trump, people who have been the most pro-Israel in all of America, who are going out in public and saying, Vance's speech was crazy. Like, you've never seen that from an American leader, especially a Republican one. JD Vance came out and said, if I was in the Israeli government and I only had one ally left in the whole world, I certainly wouldn't fuck up their peace deal. That's crazy. I mean, it's true. Honestly, JD Vance, everything he's saying in that statement is 100% true. Do you think JD will take the fall? I think that is the reason JD Vance is being so zesty about this. JD Vance is saying shit he probably wouldn't be encouraged to say because JD Vance knows he is the fall guy for this. He has been given these impossible negotiations and he is set up to be the fall guy. He's the ghost, bro. Can we watch the statement? Sure, we can watch the statement.
There's a report in Axios that Netanyahu's fuming over this. Israel doesn't feel bound to the MOU as it relates to Lebanon. If, as you mentioned, your frustration with Israel striking in Beirut, hitting apartment buildings, if that continues, could it torpedo the deal? And what would the U.S.'s response be to a broader war in Lebanon involving Israel and Hezbollah?
Yeah, well, I don't want to get into hypotheticals that could torpedo the deal because I think the president's expectation is that all.
By the way, it was a hypothetical when this speech was given. It's a literal now. It happened, and it did torpedo the deal. It happened like hours after this. I mean, not even like, it was immediately afterwards.
All of our friends, the Israelis, the Arabs in the region, we're going to work together and actually see this deal to completion. Now, I saw the Axios report, that Netanyahu is fuming. That's not reflective of the conversations that I've had with him, but maybe he's saying something to somebody else that he's not saying to me. What I will say, and this
a little bit stuttery. I do like the idea that that's not the BB I know. Oh, sweet BB. The BB I know. Like, he just simply wouldn't fume over an Iran war deal. He would love peace with Iran. Not BB, dude.
is that you have seen people within BB's cabinet who have come out and attacked the deal and in some ways very personally attacked the President of the United States. And I guess my message to them would be twofold. Number one, Donald J. Trump is the only head of state in the entire world who is sympathetic to the nation of Israel at this moment.
Dude, he's right. First of all, that's true. That's true. They've burned every bridge. And so the fact that they are attacking Trump in Israel is like, bro, you don't have a lot of friends left.
Time. If I was in the cabinet of the Israeli government, I might not be attacking the only powerful ally that I have anywhere left in the entire world. And the second message I would give to some of those cabinet members, BB, to his credit.
Dude, you guys thought I was exaggerating. You thought I was like reframing it. That's literally what he said. I was not exaggerating. He literally was like, dude, if I was in your shoes, I wouldn't. That's crazy.
But to some of these cabinet members in Israel who are attacking the President of the United States, the other thing that I would say is that over the last 3 months, 2/3 of the defensive weapons that have protected your homeland have been built by American hands and paid for by American tax dollars. The problem for Israel is not Donald J. Trump. And anybody in Israel who thinks their biggest problem is the President of the United States needs to wake up and smell the reality of the situation that country is in. Thank you all.
Yeah, I mean, he's correct. He is correct. I don't know if he needed all that eyeliner to say it, but he's correct. It's wild what they're openly doing to torpedo this peace deal at any cost. And help get the sass across. And obviously, there's a reason he's sassy. Like I said, Vance is being set up as the fall guy. Trump is openly
the fall guy.
I think Trump said it as a joke, but when he says something jokingly, he's always being serious. He just lets it out. But there's a clip where Trump's like, yeah, I think if it goes wrong, we'll blame JD. And then he laughs.
What?
But like, that's the plan. The plan is because he's the one in charge of the negotiation. He was given the impossible task. So we'll see how that plays out.
Impossible task.
Did you see the interview where he said they can't kill their way out of every situation? I don't know if I saw that one. But yeah, that's at least Netanyahu's plan. Has been trying to do a pure military solution. And it's just run up against the wall of geography and drones. And rather than admit that it's been a total failure, he is trying to run not only his own country, but America's into the ground to keep this thing going forever and ever and ever. Afghanistan 2.0. Honestly, legitimately, it's insane. The war was insane, and I blame that on Trump because he's the one that said yes to the dumb PowerPoint. But at this point, he is trying to do anything to get out of it, including throwing money at Iran. And there's only one person trying to keep it going, and that's Netanyahu. Didn't Trump say something to the
Netanyahu.
effect of, if it works, I'll take credit. If not, I'll blame JD. It's exactly what he said.
Yahoo.com.
That's exactly what he said. And he gave a chuckle at the end, so you know it's a joke, but it's like, that is what you'll do. It's exactly what you'll do. I feel like any future deals will be more worse than this most recent one. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to go back and say, let's do the same deal. I don't know. This is like an actual question. If we hypothetically bombed Israel with Iran, what would happen? Okay, that's insane. That's an insane question. Israel's nuclear armed. We're not going to go bomb. We're not going to... We're not going to...
Oh man, before I move on, I just need to make sure. You also need to consider phishing through support email. Similar to the Okta breach, we want to avoid the ability of supporting somebody that doesn't actually own the account. Oops. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry guys, you probably don't know what I'm doing, but the feature that I have from my support portal is sorry. There was this Okta breach. Okta is this a single sign-on provider to allow enterprises to log into all their SaaS applications. So it's like a trusted provider that allows you to have a single gateway where you authenticate with your username and password, MFA, to authenticate. And then once you're authenticated to the site, you could authenticate to several other third-party sites or SaaS sites like Google Workspace, and every other app like Figma or like Twitch or YouTube, whatever, right? And so this was a really critical, trusted provider for all of authentication. And they were breached some time ago through phishing of the support. And so what they did was they just emailed support and they acted like as if they were like an IT person, and then Okta support just gave them the creds, and then the threat actor was able to get into Okta and go to town and hack their environment. All right. So what I'm doing is, like, in the scenario, somebody is able to spoof an email address and send it to Sigma Shake support, and they want to do like a reset or something. I need some solution to verify and prevent that type of threat is mitigated. So that's what I was doing here for this prompt. So just some story time, that it's actually possible to compromise a whole company through support emails. It's been done before, so if my product ever becomes serious, which I hope it would, that people aren't compromised that way through support. I mean, you already hear the news that Instagram was compromised. Over 1,000 accounts were compromised because of through a chat bot. The chat bot had privileges to reset any account and redirect the email and password credentials to any email address, and the threat actor was just able to just go to town and get any take over any account they wanted through a chatbot. Yeah, crazy oversight. So that's why I don't want that to happen. Even though majority of my thing was taken over by AI, Okta, I need to look into this. Yeah, it was some time ago. The threat actor didn't go too far because, like, even the support had limited, but What was the news about the Okta breach? There's not much news about it. It was 2 years ago. There's actually several different types of Okta breaches. Actually, there's several different. The thing is, there's different ways to fish for credentials through Okta, and then there was different ways to compromise Okta. It was 2 years ago. Let's see. What was it? Late October began notifying user breach on 1% of its customers. It was like an MGM, compromised MGM or something like that. I need it to give me a summary. Google.com AI. Okta breach. I remember something about MGM. Yes. High profile cyber attack on MGM Resorts was not a technical breach of Okta's own corporate network, but rather a highly successful identity manipulation attack that targeted how MGM managed its Okta identity system. It was this one. Let's see. The MGM Caesar's identity hacks in September of 2023, and a separate actual Okta support system breach that occurred later in October. So there was two incidences, September and October. Wow, what a day for yeah, MGM didn't pay the ransom. Yeah. Yep. The help desk trick. The hackers did not find a technical glitch in Okta's code. Instead, they used a simple social engineering. They looked up MGM IT employees on LinkedIn, called the MGM offshore technical support help desk, and pretended to be those employees, bypassing MFA. I don't want to talk about it much, but we recently migrated and leave it at that. Sounds good. I created my own SSO, guys. I created my own SSO. They claim they had lost their phones or devices and successfully convinced the help desk staff to manually bypass and reset the MFA tokens. Ended up costing them more than the ransom in the end. Yeah. But they're MGM. They'll be good. Hijacking admin power. Unfortunately, one of the accounts they managed to compromise belonged to a highly privileged Okta super user. Once inside, the hackers used Okta's legitimate integrations features to pivot into MGM's Microsoft Azure cloud environments and control domain controllers. Core domain controllers. The casino shut down. Once the attackers gained full control, they deployed ransomware that locked down more than 1,000 MGM internal virtual servers. This famously crippled slot machines, ATM networks, reservation databases, digital room keys, and website portals access Las Vegas for days. The damage. MGM refused to pay the ransom. Unlike fellow casino giant Caesars, quietly paid the $15 million ransom during the similar attack that same month. MGM ultimately suffered over $100 million in operational losses and later finalized $45 million class action lawsuit settlement over compromised customer data. So they had to pay $145 million instead of $15 million. Oof, that's big, guys. That's big. The separate 23 Okta support breach. The reason Okta breach is so closely linked in memory to the MGM story is that just weeks later, in October, Okta did suffer direct breach. Threat actors stole credentials to access Okta's customer support management system. Through that support system, the hackers were able to download an unsanitized HTTP archive file, which uploaded by Okta clients, which is pretty much an HTTP request, a chain of requests. they were able to get it unsanitized, meaning it was in clear text, so they could get the valid session tokens. And so these contained valid session tokens that allowed hackers to compromise several high-profile corporate clients. While this was a major corporate crisis for Okta, it was technically independent of the specific human error trick that took down MGM. If you like, okay. Yeah, so it's pretty crazy that whole companies could have a whole secure system and then compromise just through support. Actually, another company just got compromised too. ServiceNow. Right. Can you talk about the ServiceNow breach? Yeah, it could hold out. All right. ServiceNow security incident centers around a major data exposure vulnerability involving a misconfigured API endpoint that allowed unauthenticated users to query internal customer database tables. Because ServiceNow functions as a nerve center for corporate IT departments, housing IT tickets, employee records, system passwords, asset inventories, this exposure created massive security concerns across the enterprise sector. All right, guys, let's look at their stock price. What the heck? Oh my God. Not looking good. They're at the high point just 2 years ago. Now they're going down, guys. They're going down. They're going down, guys. Damn, that's a hard crash, guys. Hard crash. Let's see. They just got hacked like a week ago. Yeah, that doesn't look good. You think the hackers short their victims to double the gains? Yes, they do. They do. Of course they do. All right. The root cause was a misconfigured API. The vulnerable endpoint issued stemmed from a specific scripted REST API, widely reported by administrators to be authentication disabled by default. Right. The flaw, because authentication was off, anyone on the internet who knew how to structure the web request could query the database tables. You just use AI to do it. Oh man. They don't even talk about the losses yet. They're still in it, guys. They're still in it. All right, back to this.
Switch sides mid-war. Never let your enemy know your next move. That's the dumbest idea I've heard. But the only way forward, if they truly want to get out of Iran, which it seems like Trump does, is they're going to have to like publicly split from Israel so that when they bomb Lebanon, because right now Iran sees it as the same thing. America and Israel, if one of them attacks, they see them as one unit. And they're like, well, then the peace deal's off. So yeah, I don't know. They're going to have to split to like even begin to negotiate or at least get out of it. By the way, last thing I'll say on this, because I want to talk about Russia. So when the peace deal was announced and Trump made a big deal of it, it's finally here. The peace deal is here. Now that it's blown up, he admitted a lot of things he should not have admitted. Number one, he admitted we are 4 weeks from tank bottom. We're almost out of oil reserves. He said that openly. He's like, thank God we got this deal because we're almost out of oil reserves.
Oh my gosh. Why would he say that? Oh my gosh. Trump with his big mouth, guys. This was literally predicted by Jang, the professor, guys, the professor.
Of all time, because now the deal's blown up, it's like, well, now they know. Now they know if they just wait 4 fucking weeks, your negotiating position gets way, way worse. It's truly not the art of the deal. It's truly insanely stupid. And then he said another thing. He said, we're on the verge of economic bedlam. I don't know, Trump knew the word bedlam. Kind of +2 for Trump for knowing the deep cut vocabulary, but he's just openly admitting. It's crazy when the deal is not yet signed to be like, dude, thank God we're signing this deal because I am fucked. Yo, I am so appreciative you guys are signing this because I'll be honest with you, I'm out of cards. It's crazy. God, he's such a bad fucking president, bro. What is Netanyahu trying to accomplish?
Yeah, it's
by
pretty
isolating
crazy.
Israel going to war with the Middle East. Let's see what stands to gain.
Crazy how he blew up. Yeah, because he predicted the
Their
correction.
last shot.
He's right, guys. Everything that he said and predicted, he's right. Crazy.
To get rid of their biggest geopolitical rival, Iran, in the Middle East. They think if they don't do it now, it'll never happen. They needed regime change. Additionally, within Israel, I think his unpopularity is overstated, but certainly a colossal failure here is kind of like the end of his term running Israel. And he is facing like prison time and like corruption charges. And like he needs to be a wartime president ongoing. So there's a
Diary of the CEO. Oh, I didn't see that one. Wow, he was on that one? Oh man, I gotta watch this one. Must have been so good. But he preaches the same thing for each one too. I didn't get to watch this one. I gotta watch that one. Damn, I watch all his videos.
there's a lot of like personal reasons for him. And certainly it is like his great idea.
Link
and
me,
legacy
please.
is like
I want to watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it, guys. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna save it. We're gonna save it, guys. Save it for content. But if you want to watch it early, it's fine. I'll post it. Post it, guys. Post it. Drop the link. Drop the link.
we're going to eliminate Iran. And that was the
I can
plan
watch it
for-
after
for
this
Israel.
one,
And it's become a
or maybe
colossal-
we'll watch it tomorrow with when Microwave Coffee is online. Production is A1. Yeah, I know. Probably it. We get the full 2 hours.
What's crazy is if you flash back to just before the war started, they've never been in a better position. All of Iran's proxies have been destroyed or defunded. Iran was in the worst position they've ever been. They were having mass revolt and protest, surging inflation. The regime had never been weaker. They had like a super old, decrepit Ayatollah. And then they forced the issue.
You watch tomorrow,
with this
wait. I'll be
horrendously
locking in
stupid war.
soon.
And
I'll
instead
finish
it
up
gave
2 hours.
the Iranian
Okay,
regime
got
a
it.
ton of power. Like literally, Netanyahu is the
Depending on if I'm still awake, I could probably watch it and watch half and half.
best thing to happen to the Iranian regime, which is crazy when you think about it.
But it might be too controversial, so maybe you should go ahead and watch it when I'm not available. And I'll try to watch it too. But honestly, the 2 hours, really good content.
Yeah, it's
Ito said it was good, so that means it's good.
just crazy. So many countries get one guide by dumb 70-year-old leaders, warmongering leaders. Putin, same thing in Russia, which we'll talk about. The whole situation feels like a boomer's like, fuck you. No, the last one will be, because look, we've got Trump, 79, 80 years old, invading Iran. We got how old is Netanyahu? 76. We got Netanyahu, warmongering 76. We have Putin, also 79, warmongering Ukraine. Final one is going to be Xi Jinping in Taiwan. He's also that old. And we're going to have all the fucking boomers of the world just cause chaos and war before they go out. That's the fucking plan, bro. Just the boomers' last hurrah. Just get 40 years of good times and then blow it all up on the way out the door. Do you think we will split from Israel? Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. Certainly, on some level, yes. But on some level, the nuclear-armed intelligence ally in the Middle East, it's like every major nation has a little bro in...
No, I'm not getting anything for that. Let's watch a little bit, guys. It's late at night. Microwave coffee. It's probably just waking up.
In 2024, you made 3 predictions that have come perfectly true. Like Trump would start a war with Iran. And you've made a series of new predictions.
Yes, and I'll explain each prediction one by one. Okay, so first, I predict that Trump will get a 3rd term.
But isn't this constitutionally illegal?
It's not. The president now has
Yo.
emergency...
Hey, Carex, what's up? Damn, I'm catching you at the tail, the morning. It's Monday morning for you, right? Monday morning? Good luck, man. Good luck.
war powers. And so he could actually delay the election. My second prediction is Iran is now a forever war and the United States
Good luck, man. I hope you had a good breakfast. Get something good to eat.
will institute...
And get some sunlight, too. Serena, ICBM. Yeah, I didn't get to implement it yet because my thing is still building and still coordinating. Everything is sort of still a bit of... We're finding more bugs in the Windows setup, but we're almost there. But we'll get that set up. Considering that we're still good right now.
And actually,
Like, I didn't use up a lot of tokens today, guys. I started at 5%. And yeah, there's already an SSG meme coin. Somebody took it, guys. Somebody took my meme coin. I can't rug pull anybody anymore.
draft, meaning that if you're between 18 to 24 in America and you're male, you'll be automatically.
Oh my god, they just increased the draft age to like 35 or something. Let me check. Oh, what was the US draft age increase? Now, oh my gosh. They set it to 35 to 42 years old. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. I might get drafted, guys. No more Sigma Shake, guys. No more Sigma Shake.
Put into the.
But there are no. They're just saying that, guys. They're just saying that it's not ended yet. Trump just said that he's glad he signed the deal. I think that was the max voluntary age. Yeah. But they might just bring people anyway because of how desperate they are.
Draft system, and they just passed a law that says that starting December you will be automatically registered.
Which means you're obliged to go and fight.
Exactly. Next, the world will move towards an AI surveillance state. So everything you do online is being.
Yep, it's already happening. I'm about to sign up. I'm already being surveilled, guys. I'm already being surveilled. Like the imaginary wife, give you pass. Mental issues. Yeah.
Recorded to figure out and how to control you. And then this is the most controversial prediction. This is pretty bad. And I'll explain why. And also, I will tell you why this war can only lead to World War III. Why this version
Man, he has all the props. Damn. This is good, guys.
possibility that the American empire will collapse. And also, I'll show you what the Russians will do and how the private bankers are controlling you.
I'm not owned by anybody.
That's what you think.
So let's talk about that.
Are you owned by anybody, guys? Maybe he likes kid games.
This is super interesting to me. My team give me this report to show me how many of you that watch this show subscribe, and some of you have told us.
Sorry. We understand. We watch your videos. That's all that matters. They got this sweet top-down shot. Nice.
Some might say, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yes.
What were those 3 predictions?
My first prediction was that Trump would win in November 2024. Second prediction is that he would start a war against Iran. And the third prediction is that the United States would lose this war. And in losing this war, this would radically reshape the geopolitical landscape.
How did you know that Trump would start a war with Iran?
The simple answer is this. The United States have invaded Iran because it has no choice in the matter. If it were not to invade Iran, it would lose its empire. Its empire is based.
Guys, I don't like how he's dressed in this video. He usually just dressed in a simple polo, cheap t-shirt thing. And that's what I'm used to watching him in. Sorry, focus. Focus. Hello? Whatever. That's what I'm used to seeing him in. I'm so used to seeing him in a casual, setting, but he's dressed in a suit. I've never seen this before. I feel weird.
Purely on the US dollar, the petrodollar, which
is he legit, or does he have some political bias or motive? It's legit. It's legit. He popped off because he makes lectures about secret societies and how the world works. It's called predictive history. If you haven't heard of it, and I'll show you. I watched most of his videos. One of my viewers hates this guy. Hates him. Completely hates. Oh my god, he's live right now, guys. He's live right now teaching his course. He's a live streamer, guys. And he's talking about Dante. Man, he streams for 4 hours. I should just watch him all day instead. I should watch him all day, guys. That's what I should do. Oh, you're talking about the Diary of the CEO. I don't really watch the CEO Diary of the CEO that much, to be honest. But he's a history professor. He goes through history. He talks about all of, like, this one was really good. The story of civilization. He talks about the story of civilization and how we started as, apes, monkeys, or whatever, evolution, whatever he called it. He starts at the very beginning of humanity, and then he works his way up to the present time. And then after that lecture, after that semester, he talks about the secret history. And then after that, he talks about game theory. So he has like 63 videos here, 30 videos here, 30 videos here. I thought this was pretty good, learning about civilization, how we learn language, and then secret history, how the world is ran, and then game theory, how to win at anything, pretty much. Yeah, I haven't been keeping up with his channel. But he's streaming right now.
Incest. Exactly. Incest, guys.
So then out of all the things to start on that, and that started to too real, guys. Too real, guys.
If it did not invade Iran, then people would
No, that was too real. Sorry about that, guys. That was too disturbing for the ears. Sorry, guys.
choose not to trade with it anymore. People would choose to not buy U.S. treasuries.
Why?
Oh my gosh! I was like,
longest
let's see what he's talking about, guys.
This system worked fine. But then in February 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine.
Maybe this is too much, guys. This is too much. We'll watch this on your own. Watch this at your own discretion. I should probably not watch this video. I should probably not watch it. After what he just said in that that live stream. Maybe it's only 2 hours. Yeah. Okay. What's the all right? Is there any Zoomers in here? Is there any Zoomers? Just wanna know. I'm kidding. Politics is whack. I just want to know if there's any Zoomers in here. Actually, we have one cracked out Berkeley Zoomer in here. Anybody else? EXO, he's a pretty young guy too. Mr. Alpine is young. Miss Milcia, complete adult. Rock shooter adult. Carax is older than all of us. All right, let's listen. Did you call me a Zimmer? No, I didn't call you a Zimmer.
That was not the issue. The issue was the American response. The American response was to sanction Russia and remove Russia from the SWIFT global payment system. It also ordered Europeans
we're
to
about the
freeze
same,
over
pretty
$200
much.
billion in Russian assets. And this is a problem because the very basis
Who's
for having
Zimmer
the
here?
US dollar
Hans Zimmer? No, not Hans Zimmer.
as the global reserve currency is that it would remain politically neutral. The Americans guaranteed seamless,
Keep in mind, your Lord and Savior is a 90s child.
politically neutral international exchange. So if this trend continues, right, if you don't do anything about Russia, Russia would take over Ukraine. And Russia then would build an alliance with China and Iran. If you look at these three countries on a map, Russia, China, and Iran, this is the entire Asian continent. And then what they can do is this. They can say, okay, the United States is a bully. They force us to play by their rules. They get very angry if we don't play by the rules. So let's not play with the United States anymore. Let's just trade amongst ourselves.
China.
And then what they can do is they can build a Eurasian railway system connecting Russia, Iran, and China together. And then what this would do is negate American sea power. because it's American ships that patrol and protect the oceans. And then what happened is the world, Europe, Middle East, Africa, India, East Asia would look at the trading bloc and think to themselves, wow, these guys, the Russians, Iranians, and Chinese, they use gold as their medium of exchange. Gold is valuable. The Americans, on the other hand, use US dollars as the medium of exchange, which is not valuable. So am I better off with the American system or with this new BRICS system?
What's BRICS?
It's an acronym. It stands for Brazil, Russia, India, South Africa, China.
So am I right in thinking, because Iran, Russia, and China were colluding, it threatened US dominance, which is driven by the world using the dollar as the
We're all in
primary
the 30s.
currency for trading?
That's correct. Okay.
Okay, so they felt they needed to invade because then they can control more of the Middle East?
Right. So by attacking Iran, certain things happen. Okay. The first thing that happened.
Brazil joined the baddies?
is that
Yeah, that's the thing, guys. I don't know. I've been to Brazil, guys. Everybody's so nice. Probably that's why. That's probably they're like, oh, you want to be friendly with us? Okay, we'll be friendly. But they don't know they're the bad guys.
China is now cut off from Middle East energy. China receives
36 Club has been created.
56% of its energy needs from the Middle East. Not just Iran, but also Qatar and Saudi Arabia. A lot of people say that China today, it's reliant on renewables.
See the
Solar,
clip.
wind.
Context
And that's
matters.
true to a certain extent. But remember that China, it is an industrial powerhouse. So it needs energy from everywhere and everyone. So the fact that China is losing all this energy from the Middle East presents China with a long-term strategic vulnerability. Okay, that's the first thing that happens. Second thing that happens is that Europe is in a lot of trouble. Because remember, because of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Russian energy was sanctioned. And so Europe relied more on
We're in the 30s, guys.
on the Middle East for its energy needs, especially
Sigma have to watch what he says sometimes. Could we take a clip out of context? What? When you're ahead, get more ahead? Okay, that's what I said. Oh my gosh.
Qatar. And now Europe has lost all of this oil. And then you have Japan and South Korea. These two powerful East Asian economies are also reliant on the Middle East for its energy. So now the question is, if you're not getting your energy from the Middle East, where can you get your energy from? And there's only two answers: either Russia or
Get
the
more
United
ahead.
States.
Get more ahead. That's what I learned from StarCraft. When you're get more ahead. Get more ahead. Nope, green energy. Yeah. Green energy is another way to get your energy, but green energy doesn't produce enough energy. But I don't know, China was able to do something. They were able to create solid state batteries first before everybody else. That's their advantage. EU put a lot of effort in that. Pity it not in nuclear. Yeah. I think nuclear just wasn't fast enough, guys. Wasn't fast enough.
Russia is at war. And what's happening is the Ukrainian drones are attacking Russian oil refineries and export hubs.
That just happened.
So the world in the short term has no choice but to look to America for its energy needs. And what did Trump do recently? He took over Venezuela, which has the world's greatest oil reserves. He's threatening Canada. He's threatening Greenland, Mexico, Colombia. If Trump controls the entire Western Hemisphere, the entire world has to beg Trump for energy and resources. And this saves both the US dollar as well as the American empire.
So as part of your prediction in 2024, I believe it was, you said that the US would lose this war.
Right.
Why did you predict that the US will lose this war with Iran?
Because the American society does not have the political will, does not have the manufacturing capacity, and does not have the risk tolerance to fight this war in Iran. Basically, America wants to fight this war as cheaply, as easily, and as quickly as possible, right? So Trump really thought that, if I sent my airplanes to strike Tehran and kill the Ayatollah, they would just surrender. That was like literally his plan going into this war. He paid no attention to the culture. He paid no attention to the history of the Iranian people. He had absolutely no respect for the nation. And when you do that, when you disrespect your opponent, when you underestimate your opponent, and when you yourself are not willing to commit to the fight, you're going to lose.
So is Iran's game just to draw this out as long as they possibly can? How are they, because he's taken out the leaders. And then do you also think that Trump thought that if I just bomb the leader, then everything will sort of regenerate itself and we'll be fine? What was the sort of fundamental misunderstanding?
There's a lot of confusion as to how this war started. Even today, no one actually knows how this war started. But I think that Trump, given his personality, he was convinced that if he killed the leadership of Iran, then they would have no choice but to surrender. And his proof of concept was, of course, on January 3rd of this year, Delta Force went into Venezuela, kidnapped Maduro, and they completely surrendered. So in Trump's mind, he wanted to replay the Venezuela scenario.
And he didn't realize that Iran is fundamentally different from Venezuela.
The short answer is he is a reality TV star. He thinks in terms of optics. He doesn't think in terms of like geopolitical strategy. The long answer is that the American military has become a very corrupt and insular institution that is trying to generate as much congressional funding as possible in order to fund the military-industrial complex.
Did he think that he was going to bomb Iran, the people would rise up, they would elect a new government, and that would be that, and then he could control Iran?
That's exactly what he thought. So what I want to do now is go to the map.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead.
And show you what he got wrong.
Okay.
All right. So this is a map of the Middle East. And the first thing to notice about this map is the topography.
What does that mean?
How many mountains you have. So this is what's really interesting is that the topography between Iraq and Iran are completely different. And this is important because in 2003, the Americans invaded Iraq and they won the war in about 2 weeks. And the reason why they won the war is the Americans practiced something called shock and awe. And the idea of shock and awe is that it is a military strategy that believes that if you cut off the head of the snake will die. The decapitation strike. And so what they did was they went into Baghdad, seized Baghdad, and the regime collapsed and the war was over. And they were able to do this because of the topography. If you look at the map of Iraq, it's all flat, it's all desert, meaning that you can just fly in your planes, cut off the head of the snake, and the war is over. There's absolutely no way you can defend against airstrikes because you're entirely a desert. Now, let's look at the topography of Iran. And Iran, it's all mountainous. In fact, you can make the argument that Iran is a fortress. Okay? And so the first thing is that Iran can choose to fight a war of attrition.
What's a war of attrition?
A war of attrition is a game of uncle.
What's that?
Right. A game of uncle is where we don't have enough power to destroy each other. So what we try to do is we try to create pain points, leverage points to force you to submit, to cry uncle, right? So because Iran is too large, and that's 92 million people, it's impossible for the Americans and Israelis to destroy Iran. So what you're trying to do instead is bomb enough targets so that they recognize that resistance is futile and is surrender. Okay? That's the extent of the strategy. But again, the problem with this is that one, Iran is much too big. Number two is that it is a mountain fortress, which means that you can hide your weapons and your military inside mountains, right? Which allows you to conduct a guerrilla warfare strategy against your opponent. And this is exactly what Iran is doing right now, where their underground missile bases are hidden inside the mountains, and then they're able to strike targets throughout the Middle East, primarily American bases, but also energy installations that are key to the American petrodollar system. And so it's a game of uncle where the Americans are trying to create as much damage as possible in the Iranian nation, and Iran, in response, is trying to destroy as much of the global economy as possible to force the world to pressure America to call the war off. So that's a situation we are facing right now. Second thing that Trump got wrong is how vulnerable the global economy is. Because the Iranians control something called the Strait of Hormuz. Okay? And as you can see on this map, the Strait of Hormuz, it's a very, very narrow piece of land. It's only about 33 kilometers across. You can actually swim across the Strait of Hormuz. Okay? And why this is important is the GCC exports 20% of the world's energy.
The G what?
The Gulf Cooperative Council. Okay, so the Gulf Cooperative Council are certain nations in the Middle East that align politically. So they include Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Oman, Bahrain, Kuwait. They've been exporting energy, but not just energy, but also a lot of byproducts of energy production, including fertilizer, to the world, primarily East Asia and India. In return, they've been getting food back. So most people don't appreciate this, but the GCC actually imports 89% of its food needs. And the reason why is that they become so rich these past few decades that the populations have blown up. And as a result, they have to feed their population, but they don't have agricultural resources. They also don't have water resources. And so they have two major vulnerabilities, which is food and water. And they have a lot of desalination plants around the area. And so—
What's a desalination plant?
Okay. So a desalination plant takes salt water from the seas and then through an electrochemical process, turns it into potable water that people can use for drinking purposes and for agricultural purposes.
Okay.
Right? So as you can see, the entire area, it is extremely vulnerable to drone and missile attacks from Iran. So that's the second thing that Iran has done, which Trump did not expect. He didn't expect that the Iranians would close off the Strait of Hormuz. And how the Iranians were able to close off the Strait of Hormuz was just by threatening to attack any ships that wanted to cross it. The reason why is that these ships depend on maritime insurance in order to operate. But if there's a risk, a very high risk of being destroyed, then you will not get insurance.
Okay.
So it's not that the Iranians have said to these ships, you can't cross. It's just that the insurers refuse to allow these ships to cross because it's too dangerous.
And Trump didn't, you think they'd consider this before they started bombing Iran, that Iran would have some leverage in shutting down such a critical piece of water for, shipping fertilizer, energy, etc. You'd think that they would have known this.
Right. So that's what a lot of people say, that Trump's stupid, that Trump is hot-headed, that he was misled by the Israelis. And there's good evidence to support this. But I want to show you something. Okay. It's called the National Defense Strategy. All right. And so this is a document that was published by the Department of War. And in it, it explains what the American strategy to maintain global dominance is. And
Making
in
some
the
food really
introduction,
quick.
what it
I'm
says
hungry.
is that for too long, America has been
Stepping away
bullied
again.
by the world.
A little
America
bit.
is a nation that protects
Let's
the
see.
world. Yet Europe, East Asia takes advantage of American generosity. The Europeans don't pay for their defense, and so they put all this money into welfare, into their pension system. The Chinese have been giving America a bad trade deal. The Chinese steal American technology and then use it to make products that they sell back to the Americans. So the Americans have been getting a really bad deal for decades. And President Donald Trump, he's going to change that by doing 4 things, right? The National Defense Strategy calls for a 4-point program to put America first. The first thing that America is going to do is going to secure the Western Hemisphere. Why? Because the Western Hemisphere belongs to the United States.
When you say the Western Hemisphere, what do you mean? What region is that? Is
Okay.
that Canada as well? And
So if you look at a map, we can divide the map into the Eastern Hemisphere, okay, and the Western Hemisphere.
okay, so everything over here.
Stepping away again.
Everything,
Mexico.
including Greenland, including Canada, including Mexico, every part of this area belongs to the United States. Therefore, you cannot trade with any of these countries without American permission, without paying a tribute to the Americans. And this is why that the Americans have parked 1/3 of their naval assets in the Caribbean today. It's to tell the Chinese and the Russians, back off. If you want to come here, you either pay a tribute or you'll be attacked. Okay, that's the first point of this strategy.
Mhm.
The Western Hemisphere belongs to America, something that they call the Monroe Doctrine, okay, which is Trump's corollary to the Monroe Doctrine. Okay, so that's point 1. Point 2 is that America wants to reimagine its relationship with its allies. Basically, NATO needs to pay for its own defense. NATO needs to go fight Russia in Ukraine. America will provide support, it'll provide weapons and financing, but NATO needs to do more work. And in East Asia, South Korea and Japan need to do a better job of keeping China in check. Okay, that's point 2. Point 3 is specific to China. And the idea is the United States does not want to destroy China. The United States does not want to humiliate China, but China needs to be put in its place. China needs to respect the power and the reach of the United States. And how the United States is going to do this is by strangling China economically, right? So if you look at a map of China, most of its trade goes through something called the Strait of Malacca. And the Strait of Malacca is the most important maritime choke point in the world. All America has to do is park naval carriers inside the Strait of Malacca, and China will lose 90% of its energy exports.
But if they parked them there, China would still go through, no?
No, because you have to go for the Strait of Malacca. So America has something called the First Island Chain. Okay, and the First Island Chain prevents China from reaching the Pacific Ocean. The First Island Chain includes South Korea, Japan, Taiwan, the Philippines, and Malaysia. that blocks China from reaching out into the Pacific.
Mhm.
So in order for it to access trade, it has to go through the Strait of Malacca. And through the Strait of Malacca, it can access India, Africa, and the Middle East,
Okay.
right? And so by positioning naval carriers inside the Strait of Malacca, it creates a blockade, and China would have to pay a toll in order to access the Strait of Malacca.
And the fourth one?
And the fourth one is to rejuvenate, reinvigorate America's defense manufacturing sector.
So supercharged the US defense industrial base.
That's exactly correct. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So what this means is that the Pentagon a few weeks ago went to Detroit and talked to Ford and General Motors and said, you know what, because of this war in Iran, we might need you to stop making cars and start making more munitions
How do
and
you
drones.
How do you know they said that?
They
published it?
They published it, yes.
Really?
Yes.
So the United States went to Forbes and GM and said, we might need you to start making weapons with your factories.
Yes, and they're happy doing this because the profit margins are much greater for weapons than for cars. This is the Pentagon, so you can charge them as much as you want, and they'll pay for it. Whereas you make cars, it's for the consumer market, and they may not buy your cars, right? So you're like Ford or General Motors. The best deal in the world is to go make weapons for the Pentagon to fight these wars in the Middle East that can go on for forever. So we're in a situation where, okay, look, if you read the news, if you talk to a lot of people, Trump's an idiot. And this war in Iran makes no sense at all. But then if you just read the National Defense Strategy that is on the Department of War website, and anyone can go there and download it for free and read it themselves, it's a very clear roadmap of what America needs to do in order to maintain imperial hegemony. And so let's just summarize the major points. The first major point is to maintain control over the Western Hemisphere and create a fortress America.
Which is why he invaded Venezuela, and he says he's going to invade Cuba.
Exactly.
And also Greenland.
Look at all the countries that he's named over the past year. Greenland, Canada, Mexico, Venezuela, Cuba, Colombia, Nicaragua, Honduras. It's all the Western Hemisphere, right? And they're all together. Second point is to create divide and rule all around the world. So imagine a situation where in Europe, NATO fights Russia in Ukraine. In East Asia, China fights South Korea and Japan. In the Middle East, Iran fights the GCC allied with Israel. What does America do? America can now sell everyone weapons and resources and finance it. This would be back to World War II.
But it makes them weaker as well, generally.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Right? And then what would happen is...
Wow. Educational whiteboard podcast, more please? Yeah, we need more. But we have people like Microwave Coffee that doesn't like this. And then there's other people that call me crazy for watching this.
Is that $40 trillion that America has in debt, it would disappear because it would be absorbed by the world. Right? So you can say, look, Trump's an idiot, but if you actually look at a map and how America wants this world map to play out, it makes perfect sense.
So the war is going well for Trump?
The war is going very well for Trump.
Really?
Yes.
But you said in your prediction that he would lose the war.
Right.
What's your definition of lose the war?
Losing a war means that America would send ground troops, Iran would survive this ground invasion, and this would be so politically damaging that chaos breaks out in the United States, and the U.S. ground invasion is forced to retreat, and the United States is forced to retreat from the Middle East.
And you still think that's going to happen?
I still think that's going to happen.
So you think the United States are going to put ground troops in, Iran are going to resist, and then chaos is going to break out in the United States?
Yes. Okay. So let me explain to you why ground troops has to be sent.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So in phase one of this war, which started February 28th, which lasted for about 6 weeks, the intention was to decapitate the regime And you do that by striking Tehran, and you do that by striking the military bases and installations throughout Iran. It's what the Americans call shock and awe. And the point is to force the Iranians to call uncle. But that's not what happened.
To give up.
To give up, basically. Because what the Iranians did was they responded by attacking US bases throughout the GCC. They closed off the Strait of Hormuz. Money. And
Welcome.
they
Thank you.
rallied their people. Okay. So rather than surrender, the Iranians basically doubled down. Okay, that's phase 2 of the war. Now we've gone to phase 3 of the war, where Trump has basically decided that decapitalization does not work. And so what Trump's going to do is he's going to impose a naval blockade on Iran's naval blockade, right? And so the question then is, if Trump understands that decapitation does not work, then using game theory.
What's game theory?
Game theory is the belief that all the world is governed by rules and incentives. And once you understand the rules and incentives, you can predict how people behave.
Hello.
Because people will always behave according to their best interests. So in geopolitics, the nation states are individual players. And each nation state is trying to use its resources and its advantages in order to pressure other nation states to obey it. Okay? So Trump recognizes that the Iranians have closed off the Strait of Hormuz, but not only that, but the Iranians could also use the Strait of Hormuz to finance the war, meaning that now they're forcing ships to pay a toll, about $2 million, in order to cross it. And so this is a huge advantage for the Iranians. And so Trump has said, no, I'm going to blockade your blockade, negating Iran's advantage over the Strait of Hormuz. So if we think about it, again, using game theory, I want to discuss what the Americans will do in order to force the Iranians to capitulate. Okay? So I would say there's a 3-point strategy. The first strategy is economic strangulation. You basically destroy the state's capacity to finance the war. And there are 2 ways that Iran is financing the war so far. The first is using oil exports, right? 90% of Iran's oil goes to China. And this is Kharg Island. Okay, this little spot here is Kharg Island. And this is where Iran will export 90% of its oil overseas. That's the first mechanism.
China.
Second mechanism is the Strait of Hormuz, where the Iranians now can collect tolls, right? So what you have to do is you have to eliminate both of these finance mechanisms. You can close off both with a naval blockade, okay? So that's strategy 1. Strategy 2 is you need to create as much chaos within Iran as possible. You want to turn this fortress into a prison. And the way you do that is by stirring up ethnic tensions in the country. So if you look at a map, ethnic map of Iran, what you will discover is that the Persian people are primarily in this area, in the middle of the country. But if you go to the borderlands, okay, the border areas, it's primarily ethnic minorities. And there are 2 ethnic minorities in the country that have always been problematic for the government. The first problematic people are called bullocks here in southeast
We did it. We did it.
Iran by the Pakistani border. They have a history of insurgency against the government. Second people
We did it.
that have been problematic are the
What happened,
Kurds,
Niso? What
who
happened?
are primarily in the northwest of the country. So if you are the US government, if you are the military, your strategy is to
Badges earned. Interview seat is scheduled. Congratulations. Hey, everybody, give a W with Niso. Badges have been earned. An interview C has been scheduled. Congratulations, Niso. Are you going to be an electrician? What are you going to be? What are you going to do? What are we going to do? Let's do a celebrate song. What do we do for a celebrate song? What's our celebrate song, guys? Giga W, guys. Giga W. How do we celebrate? I like playing this one. I like playing this one. Dopamine loop. We gotta congratulate Niso for completing all the tests in order to get an interview scheduled to be a data center worker. I don't know which type data center worker, but congratulations. The first part is done. We move on to the next step. We go over to the next step, Niso. Hopefully we get you work on the social skills. Oh, nice. Broken hardware as it breaks. Awesome. We're gonna be relying on you to fix and replace the H100s with the H200s or the H300s, H400s. That's gonna be great, man. Hands-on graphics cards. He's gonna be the one that touches the NVLink racks, guys. That's gonna be so cool. That's gonna be so cool. Touching those NVLink racks worth, more than gold. That's gonna be crazy, guys. Don't try to steal them. Don't try to steal those things. Otherwise, no more gerb. This is great, Niso. There is one warning. We saw a video earlier. One warning. Don't want to burst the bubble. There was this one guy that we were watching. What was that guy's name? Garrett Rose. It was this guy. Let me see here. It was one video. It was this one. What's the part where he works at a data center?
I wanted to make a quick video because I realized.
Sorry, guys. Let's see. All right. Citing frequent. All right.
That
There's one part, guys. Or at least I wanted to let Niso know what he's up for, what they're up for. All right. It's a little dangerous. That's why we wanted to give you a warning. A warning. A quick warning for Niso, because it's a dangerous job. But we'll look at this. I think you probably heard about it, right? The hazards of the job, Niso. Did you read about it? Did you read about the hazards? I just wanted you to know about it. We wanted to warn you, just in case. Were you notified about the hazards? If not, here it is.
for me to understand how these things worked, I got to do a lot of electrical work. I got to operate a lot of heavy machinery, install bus ducts for servers, bend conduit, like you name it. It was a lot of work, and probably the most work, probably more difficult than the Marine Corps, the amount of labor you do as an electrician commercially. And I enjoyed that project, but I realized that this line of work wasn't for me either. People were getting hurt quite frequently. We were inhaling a lot of silica dust from drilling into concrete ceilings.
Hopefully you're not doing that. The drilling part, the dust.
To install conduit and different things, light fixtures. And a lot of people that were working with me were dying in crazy accidents. It's a dangerous job working as a commercial electrician in the IBEW or anywhere at all. It's a lot different than residential, which is also dangerous in its own right. I decided
He's gonna do the Harlem Shake before he drops.
this
Oh
wasn't for
my
me.
god.
I ended up meeting my wife.
All right. Just wanted to at least let you know the hazards if Niso's there. The hazards, man, the hazards. Don't want to be a downer, but we wanted you to be careful because it's a dangerous job. I didn't know data center jobs were dangerous. Nah, that's for the guys building the data centers, an electrician. And yeah, if you're around the high voltage, easy to die. Yeah, all right. Just wanted you to be. I'm the daily maintenance. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. We're a little worried because we're like, what? Niso's about to go and work for a data center right now, and electrician takes more work. Most likely, you have to learn a lot more than just computer parts. But yeah, we weren't aware. We weren't aware. So be careful what you touch. We're touching those graphics cards. You gotta make sure they turn off the voltage and stuff. Yeah, those OSHA certified master electricians. Yeah. Yep. You gotta be careful, man. Mrs. Niso's gonna be very sad. Those guys see ugly and the bad. Yep. Exactly. That's why we were like, hope Niso's gonna be okay over there. Well, exciting. Exciting. I wonder what you're gonna experience. You gotta tell us someday. Never mind. It's probably under NDA. Probably under NDA. Don't even say it in the chat. Don't even say it. Don't even try. Not in Discord, not in Twitch. I think I'm gonna be a master electrician and retire early. I'm about to get fired. He's about to get you fired. I think I'm gonna be a master electrician and fire early, you mean? Fire early? Ink's not even dry on the NDA. Yeah. Fire, I love it. I love it. Alright, back to the main programming.
Establish four.
But congrats again, Niso. The best thing that we could do for an interview, honestly, is just practice your stories, alright? Niso, you gotta practice all your stories of your past experience and practice them. You have to write them all down. Write down each story about what you're gonna do for your interview questions because they give you the questions ahead of time. And don't use some AI to make the answers. Make sure you write them down and for every situation that you've been in. Yeah. Tell us about a time where you did X, Y, Z in the past. Or how would you deal with a uncooperative coworker? Make sure you look up ChatGPT to make sure or something. Make sure you come up with a good answer because you gotta rehearse and you gotta practice. Remember, practice makes perfect. Would you rather be banging your mom or your dad? Yeah. Find the silver lining. Yeah. There's and then how are you gonna collaborate and communicate with people, you know? This is behavioral interview. It's mainly just to make sure you're not gonna back out on 15 weeks of hardcore training. Yeah. So it's gonna be like that. So you have to come up and practice and rehearse. Rehearse. Remember, bake it in your memory, you gotta rehearse. Maybe you could ask Mrs. Niso to help out with the questions. And then you first you write the script, right? You write the script, and then you give the question to Mrs. Niso, and then you tell her to ask you the question, and then you rehearse. You rehearse every day. Every day, guys. or every day until you're a professional actor ready for Hollywood, or you could even cry. You can make the audience cry too. But you have to practice. You have to. There's no other way. You can't just wing it. Everything's scripted. Everything's scripted.
Operating bases in these areas.
All right.
A forward operating base is a spearhead of the military, where you insert ground troops to hold an area
Okay, so you
in
think,
order to resupply, in order to push further into the territory.
okay, so a forward operating base would be the US putting troops into the northwest and the southeast, and then using that as a way to move forward into Iran.
No, you don't want to move forward into Iran because it's too large. You don't have enough forces to move into Iran. What you want to do is this. You want to establish forward operating bases in these areas in order to arm and train ethnic insurgents
Okay.
that you can also finance as well. And you do this because you want to turn them into cannon fodder. You have to force a response from the Iranian military, right? So if they come in with the army in order to quell these rebellions, that's great because now you can use your air power to decimate the Iranian military. Your problem right now is the Iranian military is hiding inside mountains. And so you want to force them out in the open. And so you want to create as many points of tension in the country as possible to force the Iranian military to respond. Right? Does that make sense? Okay. And now your third strategy is to strangle the capital, Tehran. Because
Strangle them.
that's where the political elite are. It's about a city of 10 million people. And the way you strangle Tehran is you deny them three things. You deny them water, electricity, and food. So you attack power plants, you attack reservoirs, you attack railways that bring food into the capital. And when you do that, these 10 million people in Iran will now oppose the government and demand a political settlement because they need food, water, and electricity to survive, right?
Is he using Figma? I'm not sure. I think it's just the smart screen.
Is there a government?
Right now, there's a debate as to the
Well, they're gonna use the cloud to kill hack power plants and water reservoirs. Yep. Distillation plants.
true extent of leadership in Iran.
Because Trump's recent interviews, he's saying he's claiming that
You
the
wanna know
leadership
something?
in Iran are fighting
Sure.
themselves, but then he's also saying in other interviews that they don't even know who they're dealing with.
Exactly. Iran has a very unusual political system in that it's a theocracy. It's a religious government. It's run by clerics called the mullahs, in theory. And then there's a parallel system, the state apparatus, that actually takes care of day-to-day bureaucracy, okay, and that's secular. The mullahs control the morality of the country. They also control foreign affairs. So basically, this is important because Iran has two parallel military structures. You have the military, but you also have the IRGC. The IRGC are only loyal to the mullahs,
Which is the religious part.
exactly. All right. So you have this divide in the country.
You fear dark AI models. No one talks about them. Everyone talks about the advertised model or open source. Nobody talks about the AI that's for naughty things. That's true. That's true. There's literally an AI that does all the naughty things, like hack, create the bad stuff. Not Claude. I think more likely something like Shannon. Shannon.
Country
Worm
where
GPT,
the
yeah.
IRGC see this as a religious war, as a crusade to kill the great Satan, and they want to fight to the death.
And the Great Satan is
The great Satan is the American Empire,
okay.
which is the source of the misery that Iran has been
That's-
suffering for the past.
That's crazy. Can you believe there's a whole religion against the American Empire. Even I'm scratching my head on that part.
Last few decades. And the IRGC, not only do they see America as a great Satan, but they also see this as a global conflict because they have proxies that support their beliefs, including here in
Their leader is the Death to America guy on Family Guy and IRL.
Lebanon, Hezbollah, including here in Yemen, the Houthis, and of course in Palestine, Hamas.
Hello?
Okay, and before, Syria was also part of their axis of resistance, but Syria has been toppled by the Americans and Israel.
We need to watch The Simpsons to find out the future. Yeah, it's true. We're gonna have that car that has all those bells and whistles on it.
Israelis. So the IRGC see this as a religious crusade that is global in nature. The political leadership in Tehran sees it completely different. They see this as a conflict primarily between America and Iran, and they want to reach a political settlement as soon as possible. And so, in other words, these ceasefire negotiations, it's really all for show. Because at the end of the day, even if the Americans gave the Iranians everything they wanted, the IRGC still controls the battlefield, and they would not surrender or seek peace terms lightly. Another problem in this situation is the IRGC practice something called the Mosaic strategy. Mosaic. The idea of the Mosaic strategy is, okay.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder how Jang researched all this, right? I mean, the Iranians have their own language and stuff. Like, how did he research all the government stuff? I'm always curious how he does that. But then he's a history professor, so he definitely reads into a lot of things and then translates it to make it more simple, like super simple and watered down. Might not be the correct version, but it's something that we comprehend a little bit.
You know the Americans were the most effective military ever in human history. You know that they practice shock and awe, decapitation. So how do you respond to that? You respond to that using decentralization. 31 provinces in the country with their own command and control that is localized.
So basically they have 31 different armies that have their own leadership.
That's correct, okay? And when you do this, it's a fight to the finish.
Why did they do that?
They did it because the Americans possess the most sophisticated surveillance technology in the world, meaning they can easily identify the leadership and they can easily track you down and kill you. So the only way around that is to decentralize the leadership and spread it all around the country so that the Americans cannot kill everyone.
How does the central government orchestrate?
It's next level, guys. They're like, one of us is going to die, so we're going to have to create, several of us.
31 different armies in Iran. How does it get a message out to them? I heard Peter Hegseth make a comment in one of the interviews saying that it takes some time for the pigeons to get out to the armies. And what he was saying basically is that when the ceasefire was called and there was still some missiles flying, he was basically saying that's just because it takes a long time to tell the 31 different armies to stop.
The reality is that given the Mosaic strategy, there's actually no way to coordinate these 31 different military operations. Because the Mosaic strategy was meant to fight to the bitter end. You do not stop until you completely control the Middle East, and the Americans have been forced out of the Middle East, and Israel has been humbled.
It's fair to assumption of doublers. Some Putin's photos look quite different than it was before. That's true. Man, they're gonna make Putin look young forever, guys. That guy does not age. Maybe it's because of his hair color or something. But yeah, it feels like he's gonna live forever or something. He has some blood boys. He has some blood boys giving him some blood, keeping him young.
Okay. So let's go into the specifics of what the Mosaic strategy.
Alleged doubles of Vladimir Putin. Oh, I gotta see that. I gotta see that. Alleged doubles. Oh man, I believe it. That guy's just staying young forever. I don't get how he's able to do it, guys. No images? Wait, what? Oh, no images. Oh, so it's like what's it called? Joe Biden. How Joe Biden has another clone pretty much. I see, I see. So you're telling me this is just an actor with a skin a skin face mask, right? Possibly. Possibly.
Yes.
That's a conspiracy I could believe in.
The idea is that they have an eschatology. Okay. So an eschatology is an understanding of how the world should be and how we move towards this world. And for the Iranians, their eschatology is that Iran, in order to reach its true potential, needs to be master of the Muslim world. It needs to displace Saudi Arabia because Saudi Arabia is too aligned with the United States, which is the great Satan. Mecca and Medina
The
are
great
under the
Satan.
influence of the great Satan.
The great Satan
Because
again.
why are there U.S. military bases in Saudi Arabia? So this war, from their perspective, it's a great opportunity
So metal.
to
Yeah.
overthrow the corrupt leadership of Saudi Arabia, but not only Saudi Arabia, but the entire GCC, overthrow the corrupt governments of the entire Muslim world, and install governments that
Photos and
put
references in wiki.
God, Allah, first.
Photos?
So they're
Photos
not
and
going to quit
references in wiki?
Iran.
There is. Alright. There is some references. Photos. They're all in Russian. I'm afraid to click. That does not that does not look like Putin. That does not look like Putin. That does not look like Putin either. That looks like a bad Putin. And now I'm gonna be flagged for going to all these Russian sites.
This war, once it starts, can only lead to World War III.
That's a strong statement to make. As a probability,
Okay,
what probability would you assign to that claim?
I would put it pretty high.
Bunker, Banket, Penguin. It's how it's caught. Alright.
お前はもう死んでいる。何
Google. Classify physical appearances and behaviors and public appearances of Vladimir Putin. That sort of looks like him. I don't know, man. He sort of looks the same all the time. I mean, we have such high quality HD cameras nowadays. It's really hard to tell. But then again, you could, like in the movies, you could make people look like each other with makeup and all that stuff.
Anywhere between 80 to 90% probability.
So that's
Basically, certainly, yes.
explain to me how that happened.
Okay. So we need to step back and appreciate that there's a global dynamic going on. Okay. And we need to appreciate the grand strategy of the different players involved. All right. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to explain to you how each
Yes, I use them all the time. I use them. I have a master skill that uses it. It's Ultra Code. Ultra Code automatically uses dynamic workflows. The problem with dynamic workflows is that it will keep spawning unique or general purpose agent MD files. And so what I recommend doing is telling it to create specialized agent MD files instead. Has any workflow JSON? No, it doesn't need it. Doesn't need the workflow JSON. Let me show you the prompts. It's just so you change the effort level to ultra code, right? Once the effort level is ultra code, once the effort level is ultra code, it automatically uses workflows, right? But agent team. All right, it has to be like this. So this gets you your specialized agents working on the workflow. However, this is not what this isn't what you want to do. You want it to create reuse existing agent MD files, because everything is going to be a you want to create principal engineers per service and a team of services. An example, this isn't a good example because there's only one here. But here, each service will have a principal engineer, and then within this agent, you could have several. I have about 100 specialized agents because I have about almost 90 what do you call it? Services. I have over 90 services doing all sorts of things, but each and every service needs to have its own dedicated, like, principal engineer and reviewer, debugger, etc. What are services in this manning? What do you mean manning? What's manning? In this meaning? Services in this meaning? So I have a mono repo, right? And within that mono repo, I have several sub projects, right? In the mono repo. How do you keep track of them, diffs between them, etc.? I have Claude just maintain and manage them per task all the time. So I have it to create, update, or use an existing specialized agent instead of a general purpose. The main thing you want to avoid is you want to avoid the model using a general purpose agent, which means it's just going to have zero context whatsoever on how to approach the problem, and zero context of what tools to use, zero context of what model to use, zero context of what to do. So that's why you create a specialized agent and not general purpose. Because when you start seeing it in general purpose, it might make a ton of mistakes. So once you have that, but you need an environment variable set on true for it, right? No? Workflows just handles ultra code, does a lot of the work for you. But you just need to tell it to not use general purpose agents. And it pretty much does the rest. You tell it to use specialized agents. Because, right? I already just explained it, but that way when your thing works, it actually but I bake it in, that prompt that I baked it into a skill. A skill that has goal baked into it. Where is it? Skills, mono. So I have like a single skill that just does everything. It's like a 7 gated SDLC pipeline. It does tests. It does all sorts of stuff. I guess I could type it in. Oh, another thing too is each description for your agent must be less than 15,000 tokens, or else you'll get a warning and complaint by Claude Code saying that you have an agent that has more than 15K tokens and it won't work for some reason. I don't know why they did that. But if you want the skill, I could give it to you guys if you really want it. If you really want the skill. It's a little long, I do admit. But heck, if you're in my community, might as well just take the whole thing, right? Might as well just take the whole thing. Size limits. What do you call it? The model, the Octa model. Not the Octa model. The Opus 4.8 mainly spawns less than about skill max characters 2048, skill sling budget fraction 0.1, something like that. Something like that. I don't know. I didn't really look into it much, to be fair. But if you want the skill, are you in the Discord? You don't want to use Discord, right? Hello? Hello? Welcome, welcome. What was that? I can't see what that was. Oh, it was a guy joining. It was a guy joining. If it's in the Discord, I'll put it in the Discord. But if you're not in Discord, maybe I should do something else. What should I do? If people aren't using Discord, what should I do to make them see it? Thank you for the subscription. I'll put in general. What do you guys think? General? Some of my rules? Sorry. Share your rules. General. Alright guys, here it is. Oh, what the heck? It just pastes it as message text. What happens if I press enter? Keep in mind, AI generated this, not me. But, and it also might use a lot of tokens. Just saying. Where should I post this guy? I need a place to post my skills without like managing a GitHub repo. Maybe I should just do it, huh? Should I just figure out a way to share stuff really quickly? There has to be a service. I've created 100 services. What kind of service could I create that allows people to have stuff? Best, create a GitHub repo so you have a history and a plugin. Okay. All right. This is in my mono repo though, which I cannot share. I cannot share this mono repo. We appreciate you. All right. White. Seven. All right. Maybe we create the repo. Yeah, we just create a simple repo. I don't want to think too hard into this. I don't want to like bang my head around just to share something. And I'll just type in repos. You can get new viewers, audience, potential clients for such a repo. Okay. All right. Shared. Sigma, shake, secrets, sauce. Public. All right. Skills help him. Sandcastles. All right. We got it. Oh man, I should have initialized repo. God. You know what? Oh no. I didn't download GitHub for desktop. Oh no, it's detecting me as Windows. Can you create a repo without an agent? Yeah. I just need desktop. Delegate Claude to do the repo. Yeah, I trust Git desktop. It does everything for me. JK I use it too sometimes. I don't like using Git to authenticate the GitHub. Not even they recommend using Git to authenticate the GitHub. They tell you to install it over the web or SSH. Right. Pause champ. Pause champ. Is it gonna show up, guys? Is it gonna show up? I don't know. Wait, what? Where's my GitHub desktop? You're just using it to auth? Yeah, I just need it to auth. I just need it to auth again. It sets up everything for you. It even does all the things for you, but I say that as it's not setting up and starting up. So I'm just curious what's going on here. Oh my gosh, it's not even starting up, guys. I knew this was happening. Maybe it's because my system's a little bricked because I didn't restart it. I didn't restart it, guys. I wonder if I have GH login, auth login. I probably do, maybe. Let's try. Actually, I could just clone it right now. Right directory. You know what? I'm just gonna copy it. Screw it. Skills. I pretty much need to copy it all, huh? I feel like I'm doing something very primitive. And is Claude really that large of a directory? It's taking forever. I should have... Oh my gosh, it's taking forever. I need to delete whatever's in here. Now that I think about it, the .claude directory has a ton of crap in it. Kind of the work trees. Oh my gosh, I let it copy work trees. Oops. Look at all these work trees I have to delete. I have to delete all these work trees. This is some old stuff, like really, really old stuff. Yeah, I'm just gonna delete this. Yeah, I hate work trees. That's why I'm just gonna Claude. Oh my god, it's taking forever to delete the work trees. I have an SSD, mind you. RMRF is like the fastest thing to get rid of stuff, but even it's having a hard time. Man, I thought I would just get this done. Oh, alright. Oh, thank God. Alright, now I could probably copy this. Oh, there we go. See how instant that was? That was fast. What the heck? How did it copy all this? What is this? Where is this and why did it not copy my main skill? It copied only some skills. Where'd all my other stuff go? Oh, you know what? Is it because it's sim linked? That's probably it. It's probably because it's sim linked. I'm gonna have to look at what it's sim linked to, guys. Shared agent config skills. Shared agent config. I'll just copy this. Alright, shared agent config skills. Oh my gosh. I have way too many skills. I only need like one skill. I only use one skill. I'm not a skill person, guy. Or actually, I use two skills. Publish and mono. That's my only skills that I use. It's not that big of a deal though, but if it helps some people, it helps some people. You tested and compared it if the skills role's actually doing stuff or just a model issue. I mean, like how to get the minimum core set of rules that are enough for a good result. You use commands and use agent skills, yeah. Alright, I'll copy this because it at least has everything. Alright, this will be the command. Yes. Alright. Alright. Let me just check there's nothing crazy in here. This is for creating sim links. Make a per service specialist addressable for the mono repo. Yeah, this might not apply to everybody. It's not apply to everybody. I'm just making sure there's no hard-coded stuff in here. You got a team registry. There shouldn't be anything troubling here. Team roster. Alright. Team SH. It's not for everybody. This isn't for everybody. Yeah, there's like way too much stuff in here. But you really just need one. You only need one. All these other ones, I really need to clean up these skills and delete them. Yeah, most of these don't apply to you guys. I have to do this manually. because this is counterintuitive. I have way too many doing this several times in a row. Maybe I just delete everything in scripts and skills. Man, there's a lot in here. There's a lot in here, guys. All right, I'll just delete everything, huh? What is this? Is my my mono repo. Sorry. Yeah, a lot of this has my information in it. Yeah, I'll just delete everything here. Because you don't need all this stuff. You don't need all this stuff. Oh, where'd my window go? Oops. Alright, I should just make this super simple. There's like so much going on in here, guys. Let's see, read blob, Java, Graphify. Sure, we could keep my settings. We could take this, sure. Could take that too. Workflows. Alright, this is my workflows of team of specialized agents. VCS. Oh, this is something that's my own thing. Windows coverage implementation. This is just a simple thing. Yeah, not for you guys. You don't need that. Team of specialized agents. Yeah, you're gonna have to replace a lot of this stuff. There's a lot of this stuff. I don't think it's useful. You just gotta let the only thing you really need is that skill that I had. Honestly, it should just be a very simple skill. Yeah, it's just so custom, guys. It's so custom. I don't think it's gonna be helpful, except that one skill value. I'm just gonna delete it. I'm just gonna add that one skill file in there. There's just too much custom stuff. It won't be useful. No worries, I'll ask how to steal it without custom stuff. Yeah. Skill. What? Oh, I spelled it wrong.
Move fast, stay safe. Trust Sigma Shake.
Right, so it was the mono skill. What do I need to do? The publish skill too? I don't think the publish skill is too crazy either.
The glowing screen in the dead of night. For the vampire does not drink blood. It feeds on prompts, on memory, on thought itself. Hour after hour, stream after stream, it consumes your soul in token.
Oh my goodness, this one's huge. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna share this one. I'm not gonna share that one. Mono is the only thing. What's a good baseline at least if you ever need to upload stuff in the future? What do you mean baseline? Tell me more about the baseline. Yeah, you don't need to think about power safety. You guys never have to think about power safety. Get life cycle makes sense. I'm just thinking, guys. Yeah, I guess you could take it from what it is on this one. Shared agent. Agent config sync root agent symlinks. I think the AI could reverse engineer the rest of this. This thing might change. All right. All right. Take that for what it is, guys. You seemed worried about the now and what needs to be uploaded, but it's still good you were able to set up a shared space that is beneficial for sharing more stuff in the future. Yeah, I think I'll probably just have a web app for this, because it's really just a simple thing that I constantly do every time. Let's see here. Let's put that here. I mean, it's already here. Oh yeah. But this is just a mono thing. I use this because, you know, you got to go through the whole SDLC pipeline, right? And I have to be very cautious because one wrong move and my machine explodes. My machine explodes, guys. My machine explodes. So yeah, it might take a lot of tokens to complete, but for the people that are on open wait, they don't care. They won't care, guys. But hey, whoever's talking, I haven't seen that guy before, guys. White Raven. White Raven. Welcome. You're a new guy. I could tell. You don't have much points. You don't have much points, but welcome. I always ask all my people that follow and chat, how'd you find me? How'd you find me? And what operating system do you use? What operating system do you use? Anyway, where were we, guys? We went from like talking about watching this politics thingy, which we still need to finish. Oh, I have to check my Windows thingy. Yes, fix the commit message, sure. Wire, C#, anything else? Goal? Ship C# version of Sigma Shake voice with GPU, CPU backed and publish it. Done. Live. The lean CPU app is on the CTN tested. Next, publish the 403. Alright. Proceed to publish the 403 MIB GPU CUDA bundle. Damn. Sigma Shake voice is 400 megabytes. 400 megabytes, guys. If you really want the same thing that I use for voice for Windows, you could have it for free. But I think what's it called? Cloudflare is having a tough time because I can't upload the whole model in there for some reason. I wanted to just have people download it instead, separately, because the model itself is 547 megabytes. But we'll see. We'll see. Goal. Fix the not found error. Done. Verify live. Worker is deployed and serving the CLI from R2. Next, optionally deploy to a Shake Web from. So PS1 uses the canonical file name. Deploy. Right. I have to pull latest changes then. Oh my god, I'm not even synced. Not even synced. I have all these thingies. I've been looking for a Vibe streamer forever, YouTube, Twitch, and had zero luck. I find that I learn best from watching others, so observing how you tackle your problems would make me express happiness. Use Windows, not exactly technical, but I've been around PC. Nice. PCs for 20 years, Vibecoding for 8 months. Nice, nice. Welcome, welcome. Appreciate it. Appreciate you sharing how you found me and your story and stuff. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I stream 12 hours a day, every day, or at least I try to. This week, I might be a little busy, to be honest. Oh my gosh, it didn't even commit. It's supposed to commit all its files. Oh, that's why it didn't download everything. Ah, shoot. Commit and deploy changes. Do I need to include work in progress? No, I don't. Yes, commit message. Personal projects, but I'm working on my first paid project for a car workshop to automate some of their work processes with eBay, art submissions and whatnot. Nice. Yeah, man. It's a great effort, well played. Yeah, I'm trying to grow. You know, all I do is vibe code all day. Might as well just stream it, right? Might as well just stream it. You caught me at my very lowest energy time, though. Okay, what part of the world are you from? What part of the world are you from? Maybe that's why you couldn't find me. I don't normally stream this late. I don't normally stream this late. Yeah, I can only go up from here. Yep. Exactly. Which hemisphere? Which hemisphere? I'm guessing he's from Europe. Or APAC. EU or APAC. That's what I'm guessing. That's why we haven't caught each other. But Carrick still catches me. At the tail end, beginning and end. Australia, 5 a.m. here. But the work shift here is so I'm all over the shop. Okay. Yeah, everybody's using AI differently. So I'm very curious on how people are using AI every now and then. Oh my gosh. I definitely need, you caught me at a really bad time, but you can watch all the VODs and skip through all the VODs. We have lots of VODs. MailChimp? Yeah, they're not bad. They're owned by private equity.
Impressive.
Impressive. You're 14 hours in streaming at the moment? Or am I reading that wrong? That's probably right.
I love you.
That's probably right. Yes, this is past the ass. This is 2 hours past the ass. I usually end stream at 10. I saw that influence stuff, like what? Yeah. So you got me at like a time when I'm just ready to call it a night. Call it a night. Thanks for following. Thanks for following, guys. Where are you based? US, California. California, Silicon Valley. Where Apple is at, pretty much. Google, Apple, Google. Top tech companies. I've lived it. I lived the Silicon Valley life. Have you ever watched that TV show, Silicon Valley? That's my life. We're at the tail end. We're at the tail end last season, guys. If you haven't seen Silicon Valley, I recommend watching it. I make that your homework, guys. If you haven't watched Silicon Valley, that's your homework. Yeah. No, you can watch the VODs if you want. No dice on the Silicon Valley, alright. Watch this TV show. Watch that show, guys. Watch that show. You'll know what my life is like every day. You'll know what my life is like every day. My life is Silicon Valley, guys. This is my life. Every day. And I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all. It's fun. Lots of chaos. Next. Cut a real release. Cut a real release now. Where's my life? Sorry, guys. I started streaming. Yeah, the algorithm is flogged me with their clips. It might be next watch for sure, yeah. What are you working on? Hot dog or not hot dog, yeah. Larger piece of work in the pipeline? Yeah. I built guardrails and safeguards for AI coding agents like Claude Code and Codex. That's my project. It's running in the background right now. You don't see it. Think of it like an antivirus software, but for Claude Code. Claude Code. Oh, it reset, guys. It reset. 12 a.m. That's why I don't see anything. I haven't ran anything on this machine. The part where they suggest an engineer for jerking off dudes efficiently. Oh yeah. Middle out compression. Yeah. So pretty much every time your AI agent does something, I create audit logs for what it did to make it searchable on what it did. I created a visualization on what it's doing. I created rules to prevent it from blowing up your machine or doing things you don't want it to do. I create a lot of things. And it only costs 1 Twitch sub. I'm still improving the distribution for it right now, but it's pretty much downloadable at a point, but still have some rough edges on the install, which I'm still trying to fix. But yeah, my recommendation is leave it. What's this? Leave it. Just leave it. Alright, just leave it. Alright. I need you to commit and push all work in progress files. We have too much uncommitted code or files that need to be synced with origin main. Alright, do that. What's this? Fixed and not found, done, verified all platforms. Serving R2, optionally deploy web. Alright. This is my vibing safe space. Yep. You're allowed to make mistakes, talk about your mistakes here. People are mean on Reddit? Yeah, they are. That's why, guys, we come together and we boost the heck out of my guys. Guys, if you're on Reddit, boost my post, guys. Boost my posts. I have 1 Reddit post, guys. One Reddit post. If you're still logged in, what the heck? You're all updated, alright? If you're still logged into Reddit, guys. If you have a Reddit account, boost this. Let's boost this one, guys, and then let's boost this one. Right. I need your boost, guys, before it gets archived. Before this post gets archived, boost this post, guys. Boost these posts. If you can't afford a Twitch subscription, just boost my post, guys. Upvote my posts. That's all I ask. But yeah, you caught me at the tail end. I really need to like end my day, but I have some beans that I need, some food I need to eat. Finish up, guys. Oh, you didn't tell me what you were using. What do you call it? Man, what's your name? White Raven. I'll call you Raven. Raven. Raven? What are you using? Claude Code or Codex? Do the Sigma shake right now. Claude Code, perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I made this whole product around Claude Code. When you have a Twitch subscription, you automatically get my product. It's in the middle of, you know, getting on distribution, but yeah, it'll get better. It'll get better. It's supposed to look like this. Oops, not like that. Somehow that happens. Let's close that. Why can't I right click? Alright, let's start it again. Oh no, it didn't install. I thought I did install it. That's weird. Probably uninstalled itself. Where'd my downloads go? The whole 4.6 nerfer and Fable restrictions has made me sad, boys, the last 3 months, so only pushing past the other side of that hurdle. Yeah. It's sort of sad that it's gonna be limited to only US. I heard Australians were very sad about it as well. I thought I installed this already. Sorry. Come on, open. There's something wrong with my Windows machine. The model may be only, yes. The model might be only accessible to US citizens. Not up to date with predictions yet. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. VPN? Maybe? Maybe? Alright. This work? Next that. Supposed to look like this. Future Ravens problem? Yeah. So pretty much you use Windows, right? Sigma Shake supports Windows. And you run it while you're using Claude Code. And it creates a lot of safeguards and guardrails to prevent your agent from doing any crazy stuff. So it has pre-made rules, but if you want to have more custom rules, you could ask it to make more custom rules. I'm trying to make it easier for users to use, but yeah, it has a lot of crazy built-in stuff for users. This actually changed. I don't remember it being like this. Alright, see full checklist. And it really changed the look. It didn't used to look like this at all. I really gotta see what it did. This is the older view. Wonder why it says that now. Man, it changed the view again. Yeah, it's looking different than what I normally look at it. But maybe it's because there are no rules installed. Let's see. Oh, you just need to install one pack and then it shows the rest of the other rules here. And so you can install rules depending on what you want. I know it's a little small on the screen. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Okay. Made it bigger. So pretty much your AI agent can do all sorts of stuff. And for non-technical users, you really don't understand a lot of stuff. So you really need to check on like what's important to you by looking at the agent checklist. Like your AI agent can do a lot. And then here's what you should never, what it should never do on its own. And so I have different profiles here to tell you like what exactly your AI agent can do. And then what your agent should never do without you asking. And then adding some toggle switches to prevent certain behaviors depending on your tolerance of risk. And so I created some ways to create guardrails for you. And it also could modify your AI agent's integrity because there's a lot of malware that tries to modify your Claude Code config and memories. So I created features for that. And then I created some pre-made rules per technology that people work in. And then every time it prompts to do something, it'll prompt to ask you for approval. And I track all that here. Same thing for domains and IP addresses. You could whitelist domains and IP addresses too. So I do a lot. I implement like a lot of toolkits, a Swiss Army knife for security for your AI agent. Because I have like a decade background in security pretty much. And I'm bringing all that skills of what I learned to help new Vibecoders before they blow themselves up. So I'm making it better every day, you know, working on it 12 hours a day. Is there a chance it restricts any of the build because it's trying to be safe? They'll always ask for your approval for certain things. A lot of approval. It depends. It comes with 0 rules out of the box. So it's really up to you on what your risk tolerance of what you want and what to enable. You could enable and disable rule sets individually. Like you could audit them, you could disable them, you could change the decision to block, ask, allow, force it to do something else. There's a lot. There's a lot. A lot of what to do. It's pretty much used. Any plans for dangerously allow changes? Dangerously allow changes? It supports dangerously skip permissions. I use it every day on dangerously skip permissions. And it's a separate, it's completely separate. It doesn't install any context in your anywhere. It mainly stops bad tool use commands. So anything your AI agent does, it will stop. It'll stop if it's really bad. And there's like a one-click uninstall button, uninstall everything. One click to, you know, reset everything. One click to disable rule protection, because your AI agent will eventually realize it's blocked on a lot of things and it'll try to modify the rules, but it can't. So you have to disable it, allow it to create the rules, change the rules, modify rules. But yeah, even has voice activation for navigation and stuff. A lot of stuff. It comes with your Twitch subscription if you subscribe. Oops. Anyway, back to it, guys. Oh, music stops. Music stops. Where to go? Music always stops here. Yeah. I think. Alright, I'm almost at my last couple of bites. Oh, food. I mean, it sounds right. What percent increase in token usage do you think it has? It reduces. It reduces your token usage. You can convert all your context to rules. I'll let you finish so you're safe. I have to eat something. I have to eat. Finish eating this thing. So I'm free to talk. I'm free to talk. It uses less tokens. You're because since I'm blocking commands that are dangerous and it will prompt you, you tend to like milk your tokens faster. Yeah, milk your tokens, not use them faster. Because like most people use it to work autonomously, right? But there's certain things that you want it to always like ask your permission to do before anything else. By default, out of the box, it adds a ton of permission rules to prevent you from blowing yourself up. By default. For good reason. The last thing you want is for what do you call it? Last thing you want is your whole computer to be deleted on one command. That's the last thing. Yeah, I'm waiting to break your system. Yeah. That was my last bite. It is working. It is working. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, you too, man. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your day. Sounds good, man. Catch you around. Hmm. I guess I ate my last bit of food. I wonder who else is online. Over-engineered LSM tracking all the rules and constraints. It can be cleaner to split it into more mono MD set of smaller skills like coverage gate, agent routing, and git lifecycle, and power safety MD. I think this also depends a lot on the way you work and the agent and your style. If this setup works for you and your system scales successfully, yeah. I have over 80 services. I have 80 services. I need them all to have proper testing. Do you see this level of orchestration as necessary overhead for maintaining a large agent system? Or will you still simplify it? The thing is, if I don't have this, this is what happens. This is what happens, guys. If I don't do that skill, it'll blow up my computer for one. It'll blow up my computer. I don't have a skill like this because if I have two conflicting or because if I ran like 10 plus sessions yesterday, right? And I crashed like 5 times. And so I had to update that mono skill to just check if there's an existing test running. And then I create vitals, and then I create build gate to prevent collisions as well. So I need to create a lot of protections for myself so I don't blow myself up. But yeah, I have tons of tests. This guy, because I wasn't using that mono skill, a lot of my services aren't fully tested. Like some are stale, etc. Like I need to get this back to green. I need to get this all back to green. Yeah, with your system, looks like it's needed. Yeah, like because I wasn't using that skill. This is what happened. All my skills are stale. All my tests are stale. I need to retest these things. I mean, all I have to do is like click a button and test it all, but still. Having to create tests to make sure it's resilient, especially for a public-facing resilient service that manages your guardrails of all things, it needs to have all these tests. Right. I think I'm gonna have it just work on tests for the rest of the night as I'm asleep. Oh, never mind. Too soon, too soon. Alright. Who's streaming on Twitch? Who's streaming on Twitch? That guy. Did this guy even actually like notice us when we raided him? Probably not, huh? Probably not. Let's go to software and let's raid this guy. Till next time. Yeah. I'm trying to think. If I raid this guy, maybe one day He'll raid me back with his 150 viewers. And I know this guy has a connection with the Primogen. He has a connection with the Primogen, which means a connection to, you know, let's just do it, guys. Let's just do it. That way, maybe it'll show my name, guys. Let me do Sigma Shake. We'll do this guy or Sigma Shake. Type in Sigma Shake, guys. Just type in Sigma Shake when you're in there. Alright? I know there's like a bunch of things playing. Alright. Alright. We'll go in a stream and we just type in Sigma Shake. Oh wait, I'm not even in his stream. Not even in his stream. Just type in Sigma Shake, guys. Sigma Shake. Alright, let me just do this first. Let's get my Sigma Shake ready, guys. Bam. Alright, guys. Bam, I have that. Yeah, you guys, you have a good night, guys. I'll see you tomorrow, man. Tomorrow. We doing it now. Sigma Shake him. Sigma Shake him. Sigma Shake. Goodbye. Goodbye.